the ancestors of the British Isles saw the heart as the thinking center. The head, well, that was the cauldron of knowledge, yet it was the heart where we place our thoughts. Being the magic of a medicine way. It took leaving the British Isles and going to the United States of America for me to understand that I am indigenous. When I arrived in the United States, I was keen to learn the medicine of the land, and very soon found myself on the red road. And it was the red road that brought me home to the green road. The medicine elders that I was working with from the Lakota tribe said to me, this medicine is strong and it will carry you well. Your own medicine is stronger. And that really impacted me in my heart. And I've carried that with me ever since. And as I've stirred the cauldron of a Celtic medicine way, I've come to understand the connections of all indigenous medicine that brings us home to ourselves. And so today, what I'd like to talk with you is on being the medicine rather than doing rituals. So often I hear people say, well, we're going to do this. And a shamanic way is about being. When we work with the elements, we become the water, we become the fire, we become the earth, we become the air. And in our world today, we live under a patriarchal banner. And quite simply, the patriarchal world, it doesn't work. Well, it certainly doesn't work for me. And if I look at the story of the world, the matriarchal didn't work either. It's a time of awakening to a very new way, a way that balances the sacred feminine with the sacred masculine. And to do that, it's all about getting out of our heads. I mean, so many people operate from the head, and it's about coming into the bridge. And in a Celtic world, the bridge is none other than our heart. It bridges the worlds. And I think what's interesting on this aspect in stirring that indigenous pot is that the ancestors of the British Isles saw the heart as the thinking center. The head, well, that was the cauldron of knowledge, yet it was the heart where we place our thoughts. And so I invite us to open our hearts in a very new way and to allow this thinking center, this heart, to guide us. The darkest dark continues to rise. And so the lightest light is rising to meet it. And if I go back a year ago, I remember very well lying in my bed and I couldn't sleep. So much energy was emanating, and it was coming from the land of the United States of America. It was election night. And when election night happened, so many people were spinning out. And as they were spinning out, I was lying in bed knowing the result of the election way beyond the results being shown, because people were going into fear, into panic. And our medicine elders have told us we are the people we've been waiting for. Our medicine elders have shared with us that the medicine is strong and rich. And yet so many people dancing a medicine trail were spinning out. And we all have that capability, including myself. I always say to people, don't put any medicine teacher on a pedestal because they only know how to fall off. It's not about setting ourselves above anybody else. It's about connecting as a circle and experiencing the oneness. You see, we talk about that. A lot of people have shared with me, yeah, that's my cosmology. I believe that we are all connected, that we are one. Now, if that's your cosmology, because it is my cosmology, then that offers us a great opportunity, an opportunity to see ourselves in all beings. And yet, we have often a problem with certain beings. Oh, these ones belong, but these ones don't belong. Let me give you an example. If we see a caterpillar on the trail, people often go, oh, wow, have you seen this caterpillar? Or a butterfly comes past, we go, wow, look at the beautiful butterfly. But then a maggot comes along. Ooh, it's a maggot. Or a fly buzzes in. Oh, that's a fly. Swat the fly. You know, it's a very interesting one that we have a oneness philosophy when it's something that we profess to love. And yet we can fall out of that oneness when we profess not to like something very much. I was on the Isle of Iona and the Isle of Mull this July time, and for the full moon celebration, we got up at like 3:00 in the morning to connect at the zenith of the moon. And I was working with pilgrims, and I offered them an opportunity to work with some Celtic medicine of the I ams. It's a big part of our medicine way. I am an eagle, I am the sea, I am the mountain. And so I reminded them that I'm also a maggot. I am a fly. I am a rat. And then I also reminded them that I am Trump. I am Putin. I am all of the pieces of the whole. And so it's about, for me, connecting with the authenticity and the pure love and the radiance and the light of all of the beings. So that when I connect with oneness, I bring all of those beings into my heart, for all beings belong. And when we look to exclude one because our own personal preference is that I don't like that, we have fallen out of what in the Celtic world is sovereignty. So let's talk a little bit about sovereignty. And I like to do that through stories. There's so many great stories, and one will share the story of an old crone who is on the top of a mountain, and it's in the betwixt and the between, and there's three brothers who are around a fire and they're cooking up their supper, and the old crone comes over and says, "Spare a bite for the old one." And the oldest brother goes, "Well, there's not much on my plate. I need all mine for myself." And the middle brother goes, "Hey, I'm hungry, I am. It's been a long day." And it's the youngest brother who says, "Well, yes, sit by me. You can have half of what I have." And then the old crone says, "It's going to be a cold night. Who is going to cuddle me through the darkness of the night? Who's going to hold me? Who's going to kiss me? Who's going to make love to me?" And the oldest brother goes, "That's not happening." And the middle brother goes, no, not me. And it's the younger brother who says, come here and I'll keep you warm. And I'll hold you tight. And I'll cuddle you. And I'll kiss you. And I'll love you. And when the dawn comes, there, sitting in their camp, is the most beautiful woman they have ever seen. And now, the oldest brother and the middle brother, well, they want to know, who are you? And she says, my name is Sovereignty. Lady Sovereignty, this idea of being in sovereignty with the land rather than dominion over it. It offers us an opportunity to honor the maggot, to honor the fly, as we honor the caterpillar, as we honor the butterfly. It offers us the opportunity to stand in the center. And in all medicine traditions, we work with the elements, with the waters, with the earth, with the fire and the air. And if one of those is out of balance, it affects the other. If our fire is burning out of control, it dries up all of the water. If the water comes flooding in and the flame is not very strong, it'll put out the fire. It's about holding that balance where the fire meets the water. And when fire meets water, it creates rainbows. It's about the earth and the air coming together. And when all of the gateways come together and meet in the center, and when we stand in the center of our own story and we hold that space of the High Queen and the High King inside of us, and we hold love within our hearts, within our bridge, bringing all of those pieces together, seeing that every being has a purpose, then we create magic. Because we are in sovereignty with the land, in sovereignty with self, so that we can be in sovereignty with others. We've all heard the sentence, I'm sure, healer, heal thyself. You know, if we're running around trying to do it all, often it doesn't happen because we're trying so hard, and that's a headway. Our head is trying to control the show. But when we get out of the way and we become the hollow bone, which is what shamanism is all about, allowing spirit to flow through us, there's real power there because we're connected to all of the worlds. We bring the worlds above us and the worlds below us into our hearts, into this world. And what that allows us to do is to take responsibility. Now, that's a big word because responsibility, it means that the way that I live matters. And of course, the way that we live matters.